Thank you for allowing us to come on board, Captain.
Hail. If you don't mind me saying, it's quite a surprise meeting Jedi out here.
Our existence remains a mystery to most, Captain Hale.
I bet it does.
You know, it's been something of a long time coming when you think about Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll, the future that we may experience with them so soon. If you just clicked on this video, then you're in the same boat as me and your fellow viewers. Just like all of us, you're theorizing and reflecting on those characters we mentioned, Shin Hati and Baylan Skoll, but more specifically, Shin Hati, her future, her path forward, and possibly even the fate of others as well. Simply put, these two are wrapped in mystery. Their history is shrouded in darkness and the shadows, and even their physical presence radiates that same essence, the aura of darkness. And in that wonderment, we're reminded, we're all still some time away from Ahsoka Season 2, or maybe depending on when you clicked on this video, we're still left wondering what exactly is going on with Shin Hati. Well, if you're like-minded or just love Star Wars theories in general, let's take a deep dive today into another fascinating theory, laced with a mixture of speculation and wishful thinking. When reflecting on Shin Hati, certain key elements of her character stand out. We've witnessed her strength, honor, loyalty, eagerness, greed, darkness, and bewilderment. At first, we met her in her most loyal state, never questioning Baylan, embracing the dark path, and looking forward to the future of power. But as the season progresses, we watch her experience defeat and reveal her dissatisfaction at Baylan's sudden shift in direction. That, combined with her being stranded on Peridea with nowhere to go, left us in a strange place as fans. Where does she go from here, and who, if anyone, does she turn to? And a lot of them do tie in the influence of Norse mythology that their characters were based on by Dave Filoni himself. More specifically, in another theory video I made, I pointed out that Shin Hati's musical theme shifts towards the end of Season 1. In fact, her music becomes more reminiscent of Baylan Skoll's, heavier, darker, more defined. And according to that interpretation, it suggests she's essentially moving closer to becoming her own master. But one thing we never really explored is the possible connection to Abeloth. Now hold on just a second, don't get overwhelmed by this Legends element just yet. During the Ahsoka show, something, a darkness, a presence, a calling in the Force reaches out to Baylan. Now in my mind, this could be connected to the Mortis gods, Father, the Daughter, and the Son, or perhaps the Mother, who at one point was with the Father and gave birth to the Son and the Daughter. Abeloth, also known as the Mother, is notably absent from this trio. Unlike the Mortis gods, Abeloth was originally mortal, but when she ascended to a godlike state, she became twisted, consumed by greed and a thirst for power. As the story goes, Abeloth couldn't truly be killed as a celestial, but she could be contained, and so she was bound to a planet, never to be released. Yet legends tell us she remained powerful enough to prey on the weak-minded, those who craved power or were vulnerable to temptation. I believe this is what Baylan Skoll hears on Peridea, but more importantly, I think it's the same call that will have a far greater effect on Shin Hati. Hear me out. Baylan is older, wiser, and far more experienced. As a former Jedi Knight, he's had time to witness and study the fall of the Republic, the rise of the Empire, and the cyclical nature of history. His goal is not simply power, it's something far more ambitious. A new beginning, as he calls it, perhaps tied to the world between worlds, or the breaking of the endless cycle of conflict. Because of that wisdom and experience, I think Baylan would be too unpredictable, too much of a wild card for Abeloth or any other dark presence to fully control. My belief, my theory, is that Baylan will eventually fall, either at the hands of this power, or through being deceived into believing he's fully in control. Instead, in my theory, it will be Shin Hati who is drawn towards Abeloth, as our title suggests. Abeloth is manipulative, persuasive, and would likely exploit Shin's insecurity and desire for power. And though she's intelligent, Shin is still inexperienced and lacks patience. Impulsiveness is often the easier path, and in Star Wars, the easy path, and sometimes in life, leads us directly to the dark side, playing perfectly into Abeloth's hands. But why exactly is Shin Hati the prime candidate for Abeloth's manipulation? Beyond being a young and powerful vessel, Shin is also deeply abandoned, and it's this abandonment we must closely examine. So far as we know, Shin has no father, and Baylan, her closest father figure, has now left her. Also, as far as we know, she has no family, no mentor, no foundation. In her rage and confusion, she becomes far more susceptible, not only to the promise of power, but also to the influence of someone who claims they can teach and guide her, kind of like Anakin and Palpatine. This is where the parallel deepens. Abeloth is, after all, the mother. A mother is a parent. A mother nurtures, guides, and protects her children. Abeloth could take on this mantle with Shin, and the relationship could go both ways. In Legends, Abeloth was eternally denied her children, the son and daughter, because of her greed and her desperate need to control. Likewise, Shin is denied the nurturing presence of a parent, family figure, specifically a mother. Looking deeper, Abeloth herself was abandoned by the father, son, and daughter, at least from her perspective, and when you examine Shin's arc, she too seems betrayed and abandoned by Baylan. From her point of view, she might accuse Baylan, saying something like, "Our path to power involved you leaving me for dead on this planet, with no way off?" In Abeloth's case, she too was left on a desolate world, locked away, denied what she felt was rightfully hers. The parallels here are striking. Both Shin and Abeloth share a profound sense of betrayal, abandonment, and a hunger for something more. In this way, their paths align. Shin provides a vessel. Abeloth offers the promise of power and guidance. Together, they could be drawn into an alliance that serves both, or perhaps destroys each other. So the real question becomes, will Abeloth merely use Shin as a tool? Will Shin believe she can use Abeloth to gain power? Or could their union become something entirely unexpected, creating a force unlike anything we've seen before in the Star Wars galaxy? And that, fellow younglings, remains to be seen. But for the purposes of this theory, I've laid out some compelling reasons why Shin Hati might be Abeloth's perfect target or friend, and why their connection feels both thematic and inevitable. But now, I want to hear from you. Do you believe Abeloth and Shin Hati are destined to become one? Will Abeloth manipulate Shin as a conduit for her own domination? Or is there another possibility we have yet to explore? Definitely sound off in the comments below. Let me know your theories and thoughts. And as always, everyone, be wary of mysterious callings you might hear. It might not be who you think. Until next time, everyone, stay safe, and may the Force be with you, always. I'll catch you in the next theory video.